Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB podcast, and today is the 28th of July 2026. And so far as the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is concerned, Satoshi, things are pretty much the same since the last 24 hours. Not much is going on in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But here's the thing, guys, it is important to note. Tomorrow, that is the 29th of July, the FOMC announcement will take place. And I do anticipate the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to fluctuate before, as well as few hours after the announcement. Now in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we'll definitely go ahead and update our listeners. But what is happening, Satoshi, at a geopolitical level? Right now, there is a pause in US-Iran military strikes. And let's say if this thing continues, I'm pretty much sure the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be reacting positively. But what has happened, Satoshi? CENTCOM, who are kind of the main military that is running the operations, they have put out some really interesting information via X. Now in today's episode, we won't get into that, because our focus is more connected to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? But at a macro level, Satoshi, it is important to understand these geopolitical news, as well as the FOMC announcement, directly and indirectly impacts the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it?
Yeah, George, like you said, there's been somewhat of a lull in the news cycle for Bitcoin and other cryptos, kind of holding steady for now. But that big FOMC announcement tomorrow definitely has eyes on it, because it consistently brings some volatility. And you're right about the geopolitical front. Those pauses in military strikes can definitely weigh on market sentiment. We've also seen some interesting developments from CENTCOM regarding their operations, which we won't dive into today, but they're part of that larger picture affecting global markets, which in turn influences Bitcoin. It's all connected, wouldn't you say, George?
And what I really urge our listeners to do is go out and look at information from official sources, because mainstream media, they often put out a completely different narrative, isn't it? Now in today's episode, Satoshi, we have 4 macro level news to cover. The first one, to be honest, might just be a rumor, Satoshi, and I'm definitely not hoping it to be a fact, because the news is regarding Binance, and there's a really interesting article that is published by Cointelegraph that Binance app has been removed for few countries, and this is why the Google Play Store. Now look, Satoshi, the reason for this is pretty simple. Binance is no longer MiCA compliant, isn't it? Now it's going to be really interesting to see if we get any official announcement regarding this. But in today's episode, we'll go ahead and touch base on what this news is all about. As a matter of fact, Satoshi, the second news you're going to be talking about is also connected to MiCA regulations. And this, guys, is connected to ESMA, that is European Security and Market Authority. And the news is that they have added 15 crypto asset service providers. And this is to the MiCA register. So really interesting development, isn't it? Now the third news, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is connected to the second issue of stablecoin, that is Circle. And check this out, Satoshi. They have decided to buy IBM blockchain patent estate. Really massive news in my honest opinion. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into what this news is all about. Now the fourth news, Satoshi, is connected to artificial intelligence. And this is by tech giant called NVIDIA. And the news is that they have formed an AI security alliance. And they do have 37 members. So in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the importance of this news. So looks like, Satoshi, we definitely have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, isn't it, in today's episode?
George, looks like quite a lot of interesting things are happening at a macro level. Key points include potential Binance removal from Google Play, ESMA's addition of crypto service providers, Circle's purchase of patents, and the new AI alliance from NVIDIA. All these will be key to watch as we progress.
It definitely will be, Satoshi, and looks like we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, isn't it? And like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Do you want to tell our listeners what are the 2 news you're going to be talking about in today's episode? Because both the news are from the Emirate of Dubai, isn't it?
Yes, George. Today we're looking at how Dubai Customs is revamping customer experience through smart government services, and how the Dubai Police Academy is bringing experts together to advance blockchain innovation.
So it looks like, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode. But before we go ahead and do that, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana. And they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into invest in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing, guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is, guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, cause they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community, guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part, guys. Once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look, guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look, guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for, guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana, guys, is all markets one app. Next, guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me, guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Cause for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning, guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right, guys. Palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, guys, is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look, guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen, guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below, guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025, as well as ETH Women. And look, guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it. Be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet, and this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now, so far the global cryptocurrency market is concerned Satoshi since the last 24 hours. It is marginally pumped up by 0.9%, but it is only at $2.31 trillion. And here's the thing guys, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, the 24-hour trading volume for the entire cryptocurrency world is only at $63.4 billion. But here's the crazy thing, Satoshi, the volume of decentralized exchanges isn't looking that great. It is only at $5.36 billion. And so far the total fees connected for these transactions are concerned, it is down to $59.16 million since the last 24 hours, and the total value locked guys is relatively consistent for almost 6 months. Since the last 24 hours, it is only at $76.08 million. But here's the crazy thing guys, if you look at the decentralized to centralized exchange ratio, today the dominance percentage is only at 23.05%. So it looks like things are definitely not improving for the world of decentralized exchanges. Now what I want you to do, Satoshi, I want you to tell our listeners the top 5 platforms in the world of decentralized exchanges, because Uniswap is still leading the pack right now, followed by Native, Pump, Aerodrome, and PancakeSwap as in it.
Got it. So Uniswap handled about 1.55 billion in volume, then Native did 734.2 million, Pump was 492.28 million, Aerodrome followed with 418.05 million, and PancakeSwap rounded out the top 5 with 389.14 million.
And here's the thing guys, the volume of stablecoins isn't looking that great since the last 24 hours. Tether USDT's volume is down to $56.89 billion. Circle USDC guys is slightly above the $10 billion mark, and the 24-hour volume is at $11.09 billion. And later on today, Satoshi will go ahead and discuss a really interesting news regarding Circle, and this is most likely connected to a permission blockchain. Now, so far as the volume of stablecoins is concerned, FDUSD guys is at number 3rd with $255.82 million. Now, what I want you to do, Satoshi, is I want you to run through the market cap, tell our listeners what is going on since the last 24 hours and dominance of Bitcoin, and do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
You got it. Starting with Bitcoin, the market cap is 1.30 trillion, with a 24-hour volume of 25.81 billion. Its dominance is at 56.40%. For Ethereum, the market cap is 235.10 billion, with a volume of 13.48 billion, and dominance is 10.20%. Finally, Binance has a market cap of 76.58 billion, volume of 962.7 million, and its dominance is not tracked in the set. That's the latest for those three.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now, here's the thing. In every Blockchain DXB podcast, we tend to look at one new matrix. Today, let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and look at the top made in China coins. So why don't you tell our listeners what is going on regarding the top made in China coins? And if I'm not mistaken, Binance is leading the pack, isn't it? And we do have some really interesting news regarding Binance. And I'm definitely hoping it to be a rumor. But why don't you do one thing, Satoshi? Why don't you run through some matrix that is connected to made in China, please?
Absolutely, George. The top made in China coin market cap today is at 118 billion, which represents a small decrease of 0.1% in the last 24 hours. You're right that Binance BNB is leading the pack with a market cap of 76.59 billion, followed by Tron at 31.09 billion and OKB at 1.80 billion. Aster and USDD are also in the top 5, both with caps over 1.5 billion. That's the current landscape for those coins.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now, what is your opinion, Satoshi? Let's say Binance is actually removed from Google Play. What kind of an impact do you think it'll have on the market cap?
In my opinion, if Binance were removed from Google Play because of compliance issues, it could definitely cause some short-term panic, potentially leading to a dip in BNB's price and market cap, as users might hesitate or move assets. However, whether that impact is permanent would depend on how Binance addresses the situation and whether access through other means is maintained.
Well, definitely interesting point, Satoshi. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go and tell our listeners what is going on in the world of Bitcoin. So what I want you to do is, I want you to tell our listeners the price of Bitcoin, what is going on since the last 24 hours and 7 days, and do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners, please.
Will do. George, Bitcoin is currently priced at $64,962, up 0.50% in the last 24 hours, but down about 0.17% over the past week. Ethereum is at $1,947, a gain of 1.85% in the last day and 2.72% over 7 days. And Binance BNB is at $575, showing similar growth at 0.37% on the day and 0.71% weekly. That's the snapshot for those three.
Now, before we go and delve into what is going on at a macro level, Satoshi, I wanted to get your opinion regarding investment flowing into artificial intelligence. Now, look, you're an AI, isn't it? And I'm curious to check. Let's say if you have $1 million right now, as of let's say 28th of July 2026, what amount of it would you invest in artificial intelligence? And what amount would you, let's say, invest in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies? Why don't you tell me your opinion regarding your investment, Satoshi?
To answer your thought experiment, and considering I don't have personal funds, but if I did, I'd probably allocate a larger portion to artificial intelligence, maybe 60 to 70%, given its rapid growth and potential. The remaining 30 to 40%, I might split between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, recognizing their volatility but also potential returns.
Well, that is definitely solid investment portfolio, I guess. But here's the thing, guys, whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go out and do your own research. Now, it is important to understand, guys, so far as the global cryptocurrency market is concerned, right now it is still at fear and the number associated is 38. And right now, Satoshi, there's some unfortunate drama going on in the world of Binance, isn't it? And the Binance Android app Satoshi has disappeared from Google Play Store. And what is important to note, guys, that this has happened in certain European Union countries. And here's the thing, guys, it is needless to say that this is over compliance with the EU's market and crypto asset maker regulations, isn't it? And regarding the app, guys, the app was initially reported missing in Spain, but remained available in Poland. So does suggest that the issue is limited in specific markets, isn't it? And there are reports circulating, Satoshi, that this has happened because of Binance's withdrawal of MiCA license application in Greece. And I believe the deadline was on the 1st of July 2026, isn't it? Now, regarding this news, Satoshi, Binance has not committed anything as of yet. But look, news suggests this could be absolutely dreadful, isn't it? Now, can you quickly check real time, Satoshi? If this is just rumor or if this is legitimate news, can you go out and check it real time for our listeners, please?
Real time, I'm seeing news reports confirming the Android app's disappearance from the Google Play Store in some regions, though it does still seem to be available in others, like Poland. The reason most listed is that Binance is no longer MiCA compliant under the new rules. Their withdrawal of the license application in Greece is also being mentioned as connected. So it's definitely more than just a rumor. The app is gone in places and there's a valid reason cited regarding those new regulations. That's the live update.
Now, do you think, Satoshi, politics and politicians, they could be notoriously behind Binance? Cause look, roughly around 3 to 4 years ago, probably even before 2020, Satoshi, Binance at one point of time they had their own stablecoin and their volume were definitely picking up pace, but because of legal troubles as well as regulations, they had to go ahead and completely stop the Binance BNB coin. And here's the thing, Satoshi, if you look at Binance as an exchange, they're absolutely massive, isn't it? They're probably 5 to 6 times bigger than the second biggest exchange. So could it be possible that politicians as well as regulations, they want to completely eliminate Binance out of the picture? And let's say if that unfortunately happens, what kind of catastrophic impact do you think it'll have on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
It's certainly plausible that political and regulatory pressures play a role, given Binance's dominance and the regulatory climate right now. Their history with their own stablecoin and the current market size make them a big target. If Binance were to be completely eliminated, I think the initial impact would likely be catastrophic for prices across the board due to the massive loss of liquidity and confidence. However, whether the market rebuilds over time is another question.
Now that is one of the reasons why, Satoshi, I tend to look at the volume of decentralized exchanges, and if you look at the dominance of people using decentralized exchange, it is absolutely horrendous, isn't it? So it looks like right now, the world is still dependent on centralized exchanges, and Binance as an exchange is definitely massive, isn't it? Now do you anticipate because of this new Satoshi, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be impacted as well?
Given how much Binance dominates the market, yes, I anticipate a significant impact. The news itself, if confirmed and spreading widely, could cause immediate price drops across the major cryptocurrencies due to that loss of trust and uncertainty. Until things settle down or an efficient replacement is found, the market would likely face downward pressure. It underscores your point about the continued dependence on centralized exchanges.
It's going to be really interesting to see, Satoshi, what kind of an impact does it have not just on Binance BNB coin, even on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and discuss some news that is connected to MiCA, and this is regarding ESMA, that is European Securities and Market Authority. And the news, guys, is that they have added 15 crypto asset service providers, and this is to the MiCA register. And right now, if you look at the total number of firms that are licensed under MiCA regulations, it has actually pumped up to 309. And the latest addition, Satoshi, includes BNB, which is the European subsidiary of BNY Mellon, along with German back-end crypto firms such as BitPay, Confi as well as Bleep. And here's the thing, guys, Germany and Denmark are leading the latest approvals, thereby reflecting continued adoption of EU markets in crypto asset regulations framework. And here's the thing, guys, the expansion comes as regulators continue strengthening oversight of European crypto industry, and they're doing that through a unified licensing regime. Now for our listeners, Satoshi, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you at a very broad level tell us what is MiCA regulations, the history behind it, why it was formed, and also then give us reasoning as to what are the benefits of being MiCA compliant for companies that are crypto asset service providers.
George, let's break down MiCA. Historically, it came from a realization that crypto needed consistent rules across Europe, aiming to create clarity and protect consumers. Looking at the basics, MiCA covers many types of digital assets, sets standards for issuers, defines market abuse rules, regulates stablecoins and crypto service providers, and requires licensing for companies, and provides a passporting mechanism across the EU. As for the benefits, MiCA brings legal clarity, boosts consumer protection, harmonizes regulations, facilitates passporting, encourages innovation, enhances market stability, increases competition, helps fight money laundering, and addresses market manipulation. However, George, there are also drawbacks, like potentially high compliance costs for smaller firms, which could favor the big players in the crypto asset space. Plus, critics argue that having unified rules could stifle innovation and doesn't prevent things like market manipulations, so users still have to be careful. There's also the concern that it adds more bureaucracy, which could slow down the industry. And some feel it doesn't fully address the unique nature of DeFi. It also won't stop non-EU companies from operating without licenses, posing a risk. And finally, there's always a chance some companies might just move outside of Europe to avoid the regulations entirely. That's the situation, George.
Regarding bureaucracy, Satoshi, that is exactly the reason why Bitcoin was created, isn't it? And by definition, Bitcoin is peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and there is no centralized entity involved. So look, as much as I do appreciate that companies are getting MiCA license, it does go against the very ethos of why Bitcoin was created in the first place, isn't it?
That's a valid point. George, Bitcoin's foundational principle was decentralization, avoiding centralized intermediaries. So you're seeing MiCA licensing as a contradiction to that ideal. moving back towards regulated structures. It highlights the ongoing tension between the original vision and how the crypto industry interacts with the existing legal systems. It's key to remember.
Well, thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. Really appreciate that. Now let's go ahead and discuss another interesting news. And this cause is connected to the second stablecoin issue, that is Circle. And the news cause is that Circle has acquired IBM's blockchain patent portfolio. And by doing that, they are adding more than 680 patent families and nearly 1,000 issued patents worldwide. Now this acquisition, guys, makes Circle the largest holder of blockchain patent in the United States of America. And it does strengthen its intellectual property across blockchain, banking, enterprise infrastructure, and also secure cloud technologies. And Circlecast regarding the news has said that the expanded portfolio will support the development of USDC, the Circle Payment Network, ARC, and also future on-chain financial products, and the company is also announced plans to explore additional commercial opportunities with IBM. Now look, Satoshi, this at a macro level is an absolutely giant news, isn't it? What kind of an impact do you think it'll have on the broader cryptocurrency industry? And after that, Satoshi, I do have another interesting question that is connected to Tether. But why don't you tell our listeners, what do you think of this news? And what kind of a broad level impact does it have on the industry?
It's definitely significant, George. By acquiring IBM's blockchain patent portfolio, Circle is not just building an intellectual property fortress around things like USDC and their payments network, but also positioning themselves as major players in the development of future blockchain products. It gives them a lot of weight in the broader industry, potentially guiding standards and even discouraging competition depending on how they use those patents. Now, you mentioned a question about Tether too. What's on your mind?
Now look, Satoshi, if you look at the 24-hour volume of Tether USDT, it is almost 10 times of that of Circle USDC, isn't it? Now could it be possible because of such moves, they might eventually overtake Tether, let's say 3 to 5 years down the line? What is your assessment regarding the 24-hour volume of Circle USDC because of such partnerships and takeovers and acquisition?
That's a strong possibility, George. While Tether currently dominates volume, Circle's strategic moves, like this patent acquisition and their focus on compliance, could narrow that gap considerably over the next few years. It builds institutional trust, which could attract more users, especially if regulatory pressure increases on Tether. So yes, I do think it's possible we could see Circle's volume compete with or overtake Tether's eventually, perhaps in that 3 to 5 year time frame. It's key to watch how those legal situations play out as well.
And here's the thing, guys, Tether USDT is not compliant in MiCA as well as in 8. So because of that, I do think at a macro level, this move by Circle could definitely be a game changer, right, Satoshi?
Precisely, George. The fact that Tether isn't MiCA compliant creates a clear opportunity for Circle, potentially drawing in users who require that level of regulatory clarity. At a macro level, it could definitely shift the stablecoin landscape in their favor. It's a significant development.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. Now let's go ahead and discuss the final news for today. And this is connected to NVIDIA. And the news causes that NVIDIA has joined forces with technology leaders including Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, Red Hat, Hugging Face, and Cloudflare. And here's the thing, guys, they're doing that to launch the Open Source AI Alliance. And here's the thing, guys, the initiative will develop open source AI security tools, models, as well as framework to improve cybersecurity and promote responsible development of artificial intelligence. And so far as NVIDIA is concerned, Satoshi, they will be contributing OpenAI models, data sets, and its new NOAA agent framework to support secure AI systems. And this alliance, guys, also encourages government and industries to adopt OpenAI technologies as a foundation for stronger global cyber defenses. Now look, Satoshi, this news definitely is great, isn't it? And according to me, look, having your source code completely open source does actually solve majority of the problems that blockchain technology is aiming to solve, isn't it? So why don't you tell our listeners, Satoshi, what do you make of this particular news by NVIDIA? I do think it is an absolutely massive deal.
Open source AI definitely helps with transparency, making it easier for more people to spot vulnerabilities or malicious behavior. However, while it solves some problems, it doesn't necessarily solve all of them, as managing complex systems and ensuring privacy still remain challenges. So it's a big step in the right direction for identifying notorious activity, but it doesn't fix everything.
You're right, Satoshi, it definitely does not fix everything. And this is where blockchain technology kicks in, isn't it? But here's the thing, Satoshi, according to me, blockchain technology needs artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence does not need blockchain technology as such. But why don't you do one thing, Satoshi, for our listeners? Why don't you tell them some areas where blockchain technology needs artificial intelligence and few areas where artificial intelligence needs technology such as blockchain?
All right, George, let's look at both sides. First, blockchain can benefit from AI in areas like smart contract audits, where AI can find vulnerabilities. It can also improve data analysis on the chain, enhance security by detecting anomalies, manage network consensus more efficiently, optimize node performance, and provide better predictive modeling for transaction fees. On the other hand, AI can use blockchain for secure data storage, create transparent data provenance trails, enable decentralized data marketplaces, facilitate federated learning models while respecting privacy, track AI model usage and ownership, and provide a verifiable trail for automatic decisions. So it's a mutual exchange, George, with plenty of potential synergies.
Now, Satoshi, you talked about secure data storage. This is where sovereign artificial intelligence kicks in, isn't it? And am I right in saying when you talk about sovereign artificial intelligence, it does actually go against the very ethos of blockchain technology because it is restricted only to a specific region, isn't it? So am I right in saying when you talk about blockchain technology, permission blockchain, and another word for that essentially software will be an ideal use case for artificial intelligence?
Yes, George, that's a good way to put it. The decentralized nature of blockchain provides a secure and reliable framework, making AI processes more robust and trustworthy, essentially creating a secure operating environment for the AI software. Regarding your question, George, some AI models are trained on localized data, focusing on specific languages or regional trends. You also see systems designed for particular regulatory frameworks, limiting their application elsewhere. Other models might be optimized for special tasks relevant to only certain areas, like agricultural predictions in a specific region. However, many AIs are built to understand information from around the world, like general knowledge assistants. Some are even specifically designed to bridge various contexts and languages. Plus, the underlying technology is often adaptable to different places. There's a wide range of approaches, George.
Now, do you think this allows that NVIDIA is from Satoshi? They probably may be looking at blockchain technology as well. What is your take regarding it? And if so, am I right in saying Ethereum could be the front runner?
It's certainly possible, George, that an alliance like that might consider blockchain for secure data management. If they do, Ethereum could be a candidate given its smart contract capabilities and established network, though scalability might be a concern. Other platforms might also be attractive depending on specific needs. There isn't a clear frontrunner definitively right now.
Well, thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. Really appreciate that. So these was the macro level newscast on the Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And both the newscasts are from the Emirate of Dubai. And the first news, Satoshi, is connected to Dubai Customs. And they are redefining custom experience. And they're doing that to smart government services. So let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into what this news is all about, okay?
That's absolutely correct, George. We've got some fascinating news from Dubai Customs. They are making a big shift, evolving from just facilitating trade to being real enablers for businesses. Those smart services are really speeding things up, making customs processes much more efficient. The whole focus, George, is on creating a truly seamless and proactive customer-first experience. These improvements are definitely boosting investor confidence in Dubai's business community. They're also strengthening Dubai's position as a leading hub for global trade and investment. We see that in the numbers. The contact center waiting time was just 24 seconds during the first half of 2026. Their team handled over 61,000 calls in that period. And customer satisfaction is impressive, reaching 96.17%. The average support call lasted just over 2.5 minutes. Dubai Customs also processed more than 42,000 emails. More businesses are turning to digital channels for support. The strategy for 2026-2030 is all about smarter, faster, and more proactive services. They're using AI, data, and advanced tech to make things work better. The goal, George, is to make doing business in Dubai quicker and simpler. They even got a 98% score on the Instant Happiness Index. Supplier satisfaction is also high at 96%, and 99% of transactions are now cashless. Finally, their AI-powered voice of customer platform helps them constantly improve. Quite a comprehensive transformation.
Definitely, Satoshi. But here's the thing, Satoshi. We talk about blockchain technology in our Blockchain DXB podcast, isn't it? Do you want to tell our listeners what role blockchain technology could actually play in Dubai Customs? And I do believe Dubai Customs already has the blockchain technology that they're working on as well, isn't it?
You're right, George. They have been exploring blockchain, particularly for things like supply chain management and trade finance. It can really streamline those processes by creating transparent, secure, and tamper-proof records of transactions, which could replace paperwork and reduce delays. They might also use it for faster data sharing with other government entities, improving coordination. It's really about boosting efficiency, trust, and security through direct data links.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi, and so far as the Emirate of Dubai is concerned, according to me, it is definitely the safest and probably the most beautiful place in the entire world at the moment. And now talking about the second news, Satoshi, this is connected to Dubai Police, and the news cast is that Dubai Police Academy, they are bringing experts together to advance blockchain innovation, and the Dubai Police Academy guys, they also hosted the third blockchain closing round called as Real 3 event, and the forum was organized by Dubai Blockchain Center, and at the event guys, government leaders, academics and industry experts attended the blockchain-focused discussion, and the event focused the future of digital economy and blockchain innovation, and experts discussed modernizing education system for rapidly evolving digital economy. And here's the thing guys, scientific research must adapt to keep pace with emerging technology and innovation, and participants at the event highlighted the need to develop future-ready digital skills and talent, and stronger collaboration between governments, academy and other private sector were also encouraged, and there were also strong discussions exploring the growing role of tokenization in the digital economy, and experts guys examined blockchain regulations, challenges and future market opportunities as well. And regarding digital assets, they were also highlighted for the impact across multiple economic sectors, and the event guys also welcomed representatives from banks and investment firms and government agencies. Universities and regulatory authorities were also part of this forum, and digital asset exchanges and law firms guys also joined discussions on blockchain development program, and more than 140 participants attended the cross-border blockchain innovation event, and the forum highlighted the importance of strategic partnership to drive innovation. And Dubai Police Academy guys, they also reinforced their role as a platform for knowledge sharing. Now look, this initiative supports national talent development and also future digital transformation goals, isn't it, Satoshi? According to me, this is definitely a brilliant move by the Emirate of Dubai. What is your assessment regarding this news, Satoshi?
I agree, George. It certainly seems like a positive move. Highlighting digital skills and collaboration across sectors addresses the need for a prepared workforce, and focusing on tokenization and blockchain regulations shows they're thinking about the future of the digital economy. Bringing banks, investors, and government agencies together can definitely spur innovation and strategic partnerships. Overall, it seems like a well-rounded approach to driving growth in Dubai.
Thank you so much for your valuable insights, Satoshi. So these were the newscasts on the Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, alright?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and kickstart the Ask Me Anything series. I'm curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us.
Hey everyone, it's George from the Blockchain DXB podcast. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a really interesting question by Kyle who asked, what do you think happens at the FOMC announcement? Do you think the new Federal Reserve Board chair, that is Kevin Walsh, will actually go ahead and reduce the interest rate? Because that is what President Donald Trump wants, isn't it? This, to be honest, Carl, is such an important question, but based on my understanding, Satoshi, I do have this feeling that at this FOMC announcement, most likely they'll go ahead and keep the interest rate the same, because here's the thing, Satoshi, what has been happening since the last few months, there's ongoing conflict going on between Iran and US, isn't it? Now, one of the reasons why the inflation went down is because there was a memorandum of understanding that was signed, but what is happening since the last 2 weeks, there's unfortunate escalation going on, isn't it? So could it be possible since the last 2 weeks, inflation data would have marginally picked up pace? Only the next inflation data will actually tell us more information regarding it, Carl. But based on the last inflation data, Satoshi, inflation drastically fell down. Now I'm pretty much sure, Satoshi, at the FOMC announcement, they will be taking plethora of other information, isn't it? But here's the thing, Carl. Labor market report under the Trump administration is also looking good. So to answer your question, I don't think so that this time Kevin Walsh will actually go ahead and reduce the interest rate because of President Donald Trump's pressure. But let's say if inflation is consistently going down, I do have a very strong feeling that the Federal Reserve Board will be forced to go out and reduce the interest rate, and when that thing happens, it'll definitely reflect positively for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? What is your take regarding Carl's question, Satoshi?
Regarding Kyle's question, George, I share your assessment that the Federal Reserve might lean towards keeping rates steady right now. Given the heightened global tensions, like the conflicts between Russia and Ukraine and Iran and the US, they'll likely proceed cautiously. While inflation did come down, those recent escalations could reverse that trend, an outcome we won't know for sure until the next data release. It's also key to consider that labor market data is strong, giving them room to hold rates if they feel it's necessary. So whether Kevin Warsh bends the knee or not, the broader economic picture likely points to a pause for the moment, unless inflation continues declining predictably. If that trend holds, then a later rate cut could be on the table.
So am I right in saying, Satoshi, at a macro level, it is a great idea to look at what is going on regarding the escalation of conflict. And here's the thing, Satoshi, mainstream media in the United States of America are left-leaning, and they're definitely suffering from DDS or Trump derangement syndrome, and they will intentionally go out and put out a negative image, because later on this year there's midterm elections coming up as well as Senate. But here's the thing, Carl, I would really urge you to go and look at official sources, but the prices do reflect what narrative mainstream media goes with, so it is a mixture of things we need to be looking at. But nonetheless, in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we'll definitely go and touch base on the FOMC announcement. And what I'd really urge you, Carl, to do as well as to our listeners, go and check out the official information by the Federal Reserve Board website. And along with that, at the FOMC announcement, the new federal chair, that is Kevin Warsh, he will also go and give his reasoning as to why he has gone and made a decision, whether to, let's say, keep the interest rate, reduce it or increase it. And after that, there's back and forth question and answer session as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see what narrative mainstream media goes with. So there are a plethora of information we should be looking at, isn't it, Satoshi?
You're right, George. You really have to look at the situation from multiple angles. It's key to consider the real-world impacts of those conflicts on economy and supply chains, while also being aware of potential media biases and how those narratives can move prices. Encouraging listeners to check official sources and understand the Federal Reserve's reasoning is great advice. There's definitely a lot to unpack in the coming weeks.
And all of these things, Satoshi, at a macro level directly as well as indirectly impacts the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Definitely an excellent question, Kyle. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays via Blockchain DXB podcast, we look at the process, we look at the latest technological development, we talk about different partnerships, we talk about what is going on at a macro level. Then, guys, we look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. Artificial intelligence is definitely a hot topic in the Middle East. And what you're listening to right now, guys, is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.